Welcome back to the Gauntlet, and I have two games to talk about today because I failed my third challenge. I failed it. I couldn't do this. I see things differently to some of you. The way I process what I'm doing in a video game is a very different experience to what you process. And Edrem, I want to point out how unfair I think this is, because I have now a forfeit, which you guys maybe not be aware of. I'll tell you in a second. If I quit the game. That's what I did. I quit. I was like, I can't do this. Edrem specifically chose a game that I had seen the trailer for in some sort of like big gaming reveal system, you know, like E3 or whatever, and said, I'm never playing that game. And that's what he chose. And it was Katamari Demacy? I keep calling it Calamari Delicacy. Katamari Demacy. I think that's what it's called. Either way, awful. The game's not bad. Like, it's not a bad game. I get it. It's similar to the worm eating the next bit and getting bigger and things like that. And you just roll around and you pick up trash. However, it comes with a time limit and a goal to reach. And that puts, like, Mythic Plus type feelings into me. Because I want to beat the game because of a time. I'm on the time limit, and I don't want to repaint levels and things like that. And I was thinking this was going to be like Monkey Ball, where it was going to get really, really hard later on, and I wanted to like smash through it. And I got through like 8 or 9 levels or something, and was really stressed out. But what made it even worse is, oh man, maybe it's age, I don't know, but it is just a relentless onslaught of stupid visuals and noise. It was the noise that was killing me. Like, maybe if I muted the game, it wouldn't have been as bad. Why are you not getting all the matchsticks? Get them all. What are these? What's this music? Okay, we can't get frogs. Alright, frogs are too much. But it's a game that's very simply made, and every time you touch something, it makes that noise. If you do things in a row, it just plays that sound effect over and over again. So if you pick up like 12 ducks or whatever, they just go, wah, 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 and then it's combined with this music, which is not like rave music. It had lots of different genres in there, but it was just an onslaught. It was like weaponized attack. I felt like I was in a Clockwork Orange where I was strapped in the chair and my eyes were open. It was just relentlessly bombarding me with stimulus over and over and over and over again, and it started to make me feel a bit sick. Legitimately, I felt nauseous afterwards. I went and like rinsed my face with water. I was like, I'm done. I can't. This is just, maybe if I was like 12 or something, I could handle this, but this is just like an insane sugar rush that is bombarding my senses in every single way. And also, I mean, it's rolling a ball, and it's just not for me, dude. This game is just not for me in any way. People were telling me, and for reference to what I was talking about earlier, is people telling me, like, dude, this is like such a chill game. This is like relaxed game. And I was like, I don't know where you get that from at all. I find this so stressful. So stressful. And it's just anxiety building up inside me playing this. Like, and the alarm when the time is running out, I was like, for like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is driving me nuts. I did not like it. I did not like it. So I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Like, no, like, we'll do something else. To which I think it was actually a ploy. I think the team, I personally believe, they haven't admitted to this, but I personally believe this was a setup, because they had a forfeit all ready for me and ready to go. They had it all lined up, and the forfeit was that you guys get to choose my cosplay for FanFest, the FF FanFest, and they've set up a Discord and stuff. I will accept that, sure. I will accept that. Well, then we moved on to challenge number 4. Very different vibe. To the moon. Okay, I can't talk much about this. Let me just say this. If you are remotely interested in like a good 4-hour narrative story, this is one of the best out there. But just be prepared to cry. It's highly emotional. Highly emotional, but so well done. Ridiculously well done. The writing here to put this story together is so on point. Like, there's very few things that are happening. There's only like one real suspension of disbelief that you need, and from there you're fine. And it's not even that big of a leap, honestly. It's not. It was more like, I wonder if that actually does a thing, and it doesn't matter for the sake of the story as to what's going on. But the way it's pieced together, to give you some entice, You are working for a company that visits people who are on their deathbed, and you are able to grant them a wish. And that wish is not like fantasy wishes or anything like that. It's not like fairies and things. The wish is that if they didn't do something in their life that they really wanted to do. So perhaps you had a really good life, a family man, enjoyed it, just worked through, made enough, and were dying, but you really wish you'd become like a pro footballer, is they will try and provide that experience to you via like memory alteration. So that for your last hours, you will have the memories of being like a pro footballer or a movie star or something like that. That's the premise of the game, is you work for the company that does that. And then it goes from there. And I don't want to say any more because it's... the only thing I will say is... One thing I loved about this, absolutely loved about this, is the real depth of what's going on and the implications that are going on are not always like super spelled out for you. Even if you take in exactly what is written on the page and is explained to you, you're going to have a phenomenal time with it. There's more stuff going on that you would have to think through a little bit as to how A got to like G along that, you know, the A, B, C, D all the way there. But it's not necessary to get a phenomenal experience out of this game. But there's another level that comes from, and it was helped, of course, by me streaming and people like, hang on a minute, wait, this is going that. And there's so many points of realization where you're like, oh. And you really think about it. It reminded me a lot, and I think it appeals to our audience, of Final Fantasy in like living memory, is what I would describe it as. Is in living memory, they don't beat you about the face with certain implication, with like, this is what happened, let me like exposition this so you get it. It's more a case of if you're into what's happening and you really think about it, then you discover like the many layers of the onion that are actually happening around you, even though it's not being told to you. But it's all there, and the clues are all there as to what is actually going down with some of these people. And it's really it was wild, honestly. It was a wild time. Only about 4 or 5 hours long, but absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. If you're into this, there's not much gameplay at all. There's no combat or anything, and it is a point-and-click story-driven game, right? That's it. It's not Path of Exile. You're not going to be blowing up a million demons. You're going to be experiencing the story through various eyes. There's a little bit of puzzle solving, but honestly, it was not... I think this is probably a big high point for the game, is that the puzzle solving in the game is very simple. It's just a case of giving you a little bit of gameplay to go in, and they don't get too extraordinary, like, let's make this really hard. No, it's not necessary. It's not the purpose of the game. They recognize that. It's like, this is just a bit of gameplay to throw in there, but it's not something that's supposed to hold you back or be a roadblock. It was really nice. So this was Nupps' choice. But then the twist, because I finished that, and I had 100 hours left on the clock, which means they definitely planned more. I had put in that, like, 0, you know, we were doing 4 challenges. That was my team's. You know, that is the members of the team. But actually, they were like, we never told you it was just 1 game apiece. And in fact, there's more. There's more for me to beat. So the time is actually a problem now. Before I get to my punishment here. Which I'm already suffering, so I don't know what else they've got in store. They're a devious bunch. They are a devious bunch. But they came up with a video game that the people actually played on stream to choose. And it was between Titanfall 2, which is Chris's choice, definitely. He's been pushing for that. Co-op Day, which was Bex's choice, which is actually what won. Balatro, and another game. Slay the Spire. Which was Nupps' choice. Balatro, I believe, was Edrem's choice. Bex went with a Co-op Day. Co-op Day won. The war between the audience of choosing the game by controlling little characters actually crashed the games, which is great for us because we're working on something far bigger in the background, and this helps Edrem, like, oh, okay, this is what happened and how we can fix it. So it's going to be Co-op Day, which I believe, well, I know, I've installed them here. I've got Peak, Content Warning, and Helldivers 2 is what I'm looking at on my screen right now. And so that's going to be the next things before we get to Final Fantasy Tactics. So I've got what, 90 hours left, I think. Balatro is one I'm worried about. I think Balatro is really long. I don't know. We'll see if we can make it, dude. I'm trying. Final Fantasy Tactics looms, but 2 games there. Maybe you like them both. I only liked one of them. Bye.